Hello and welcome everybody to the Viewpoint Ministries podcast. This is the podcast to our live show that we just had on YouTube and our other platforms. And we just discussed the topic, the grace and the meaning of an event driver. So, in order to get a deeper understanding of this podcast, you're welcome to check that out. But today on this podcast, we're going to be talking about practical tips for a MC, that's a master of ceremony, or an event driver to positively influence an event. And today I have with me a very wonderful, talented woman of God who wears a lot of hats actually, but one of the hats that she wears, or let me say two of the hats that she wears, is what we're talking about today, and I'm bringing her to the with us from there she goes. All right. I have with us today Mrs. Evelyn, who is going to help us through this topic. Like I said, she wears a lot of hats, many. But out of the many hats that she wears, she's going to be talking to us about being an event driver and being a master of ceremony today. So over to you, ma'am.
Okay, I'm told I have a very limited time, and I like that. I like it very nice and short. Just like we had said earlier, to be an event driver, an MC, first of all, you have to be engraced, and you have to know that you're called, to do that. You are gifted. And again, being graceful is unmerited favor. It's not something that you worked for. It's not something that you have labored for. So it's unmerited favor. God just engraced you. God gives you that favor. And so nobody's going to boast about it. All because Evelyn knows how to do it. That's why, she's good at what she does. No, it's called grace. And so for you to be a successful event driver, you have to recognize that grace and know that you were gifted. And the difference, what makes you different from any other kind of event planner, driver, or MC, is that you were gifted. You understand? There's a special grace upon you that makes you do it better than any other person who is not gifted in that area and just walk towards, being an MC in an event. And like I would say, whatever gift that you've been given by God is for his name to be glorified. It's for his kingdom to be established here on earth. And so when you are gifted, that gift, you have to use it to glorify God. And so the gift as an MC is for God's name to be glorified. So when you find yourself in a situation like that, bear in mind first and let God be the center of it all. Let God be the center of it all. Like I said, you have to be very, very sensitive to the Spirit, because it's only the Spirit of God that will nudge you to know the hearts of people, the need of the crowd, the need of the events. You understand? So when you are sensitive to the Spirit reveals that to you. And like I said that in the John 5:19, and Jesus said, very, very, I say unto you, saying to the crowd, whatever you see me do, I do nothing, but what I see my Father do, that's what I do. So constantly, Jesus is always connected to the Father. And so that's why wherever he goes, whatever he does is always very good. He does good things. He was about doing healing, healing people, reviving people, mending broken hearts, calling you into purpose, because he was always connected to the heart of the Father. And so when you're gifted with the gift that God has given to you, to be an event driver and MC, is for his name to be glorified. It's for his people to be set free. And again, I want to just bring into consideration, the 3,000 souls that were delivered. I want to believe it was an event. You understand? God gathered the crowd, and I want to believe there were more than 3,000 people. So the event driver for that ceremony, for that crowd, was the disciples. You understand? And when they came down, because They were sensitive to the Spirit of God, to the need, of heaven for the people. And then they ministered in that event. And you can imagine up until today, we're still talking about the event. 3,000 souls gave their life to Jesus. And so, for you to be an exceptional event driver, an MC, you have to be very, very sensitive to the Spirit. Because whenever God gathers a crowd, it's for His name to be glorified. And I just want to encourage us with that. And peradventure, like I said, sometimes you don't even know what you're gifted with. You say, oh, I'm not good at this. I don't think I have this talent. I don't think I'm gifted. Some people might be saying to you, oh, how about you do this? How about you do this? And maybe you've heard that from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. That is a pointer for you. It's time for you to start giving it a thought, start praying about it, start giving attention. And, God will reveal this even better to you. And then you will understand that, oh, this is a gift that you have just kept there without putting it to use. And again, if we go back to the scripture, about the merchants who gave talents to 3 of his servants. One he gave 5, 1 2, and 1 1. He gave them, they were gifts, they were talents. You understand? The first one he gave 5, multiplied it. He knew about it, he appreciated, he put the gift to work and multiplied it. And the second one too did the same thing. But the third one just didn't know what he could, do with that gift. He did not appreciate it, that talent, and rather he just buried it and did not make anything of it. And so what God is saying to somebody today is that you've been gifted with something, either an event driver, MC, or whatever. Find that gift, put it to use. It is for the expansion of the kingdom and for God's name to be glorified. And I just hope we've been able to bless somebody today. Since Abusayo, I don't know if that is good enough.
That is wonderful. I mean, do you have more?
I think I will rest.
You asked me a question like you have more. So if you have more, hey, we can take more. No pressure. But if we do have more, please don't hold back. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ra. Thank you so much. You said to be engraved as an MC and event planner, you have to be graceful. You have to also know that you are gifted, and to keep in mind that whatever it is that we have been gifted with, that it is to glorify God. And then you said that we need to be sensitive to the Spirit of God. That whatever, and also that whatever has been put in our hands is to, in my own words, to live the name of Jesus. So, those are very, very important tips for us to become, to be able to influence an event positively, especially being sensitive to the Spirit of God. Because I believe, like I said during our live broadcast, that's something that I don't think I've ever consciously connected with event driving or event planning or being an MC, and you bringing that up into our consciousness is, I think, for me again, is very, very profound, because what do we do if we're not being prompted by the Spirit of God? If He's not involved, then what's the point of what we are doing? So thank you so much, Ma, and thank you for the advice, to even myself and everyone who will be watching this broadcast, that that you may think that you don't have a gift, or you may be doubting the gift that you have. If 1 or 2, 3 people keep asking you for the same thing, like I said during the live broadcast, somebody asked me some years back, can you plan my wedding? And I said, no, I don't do event planning, I do event decorating. And actually, what I'm doing right now, interviewing you on this podcast, is, I mean, like, I was approached. I was once sitting in your seat, like as a guest on this show. And I don't know how long now. And I was like, oh, me to host a show? Like, no way. No
and
way.
You're excellent.
And then before
Very
you know it,
excellent.
I'm being like, called to do this here and there, but no, I don't want to brush up what you just said. You said, and I'm excellent. So thank you so much. I don't want to.
Yes.
I don't want to talk
Yes.
over that.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank
Yes.
you. So, not to make this any longer than it should be, the point is that if you're doubting your gift, God may have put some people, either they know you or they don't know you, on your path who are constantly pointing to that gift in you. Because they are calling for that service, and you feel like I can't offer the service. That means that you need to really sit back and look into yourself and really examine the possibility of the existence of that gift in you.
Right.
So thank you so much again, Ma, for being here. Please stay with us in the studio. All right, so we've come to the end of our podcast today. It's always a pleasure. And also, please remember that our podcast comes up every Friday at 9 p.m. Make sure to tune in, and also do well to watch all of our other previous shows, our live broadcasts. And may God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.